to talk about whatever you think is of interest until somebody tells me we're out of time. Yes, sir?
I give my question to her.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm here.
Oh,
Hey. Hi.
surprise.
Surprise.
I'm Desiree, and I am an ACLU Rights for All voter. You've encountered us before. My question is, will you commit to restoring the right to vote to all Americans, including those currently incarcerated?
So my focus right now is on restoring voting rights for those who are formerly incarcerated, which we don't yet have in many parts in this country. I'm also mindful of the history of felon disenfranchisement in this country, and that it is tied in with patterns of exclusion and injustice that have been perpetrated throughout our justice system. And it's why the issue is not only what happens for people who are incarcerated, but why people are incarcerated and whether they're going to stay incarcerated. So as we move, for example, to legalizing marijuana, is that going to be retroactive? Are we going to be expunging records for people who were incarcerated in ways where the incarceration did more harm than the original offense? I believe we should. I believe we should look at sentencing disparities between different kinds of drug abuse. We took a first step on this as a country, looking at the crack cocaine sentencing disparity. There's still a lot of issues here. As we work, for example, in Indiana to deal with the opioid epidemic, where I think Americans are finally realizing that addiction is a medical issue, not a moral issue. A lot of people especially in the black community in South Bend, have been coming up to me and saying, you know, Mayor, that's great that everybody's real enlightened now about opioids. Where were you during the crack epidemic, right? I mean, personally, I was about 10 during that issue. But we've got a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
And the next president's going to have a lot to work to do. Now, I know that some people would like to see that extended to people who are currently incarcerated too on voting. I haven't been able to get that far. But I will say that we've got a lot of work to do on issues where I think we can bring Americans together for reform. And as we reform, we need to continue to make sure that this is a more just and more equal country every step of the way.